Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Pro Wrestling Tonight, right here on IndieQuebec.com. It's the Prez. I'm back once again, of course, with my co-host, magnificent Drey Breeze. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing, bro?
Doing good, doing good. It's been a crazy week in wrestling.
It has been.
I
It has
watched quite a
been.
bit.
Me too. Too much actually this week.
It's been so cold that been staying in. It's something to do, and
And there's
that's it.
something every single night, you know. You can
Yeah,
start watching wrestling on Monday all the way to Friday. Yeah, Saturday actually would be the last night that there's a show on TV, you know.
that's it.
So
It's getting more and more, man, with the
yeah,
YouTube
yeah,
shows and
yeah, and everything. It's intense.
yeah. So
Gatekeep.
yeah, AEW, man, AEW. It just ended. Dynamite just ended. So we'll start with the review right away. The show started off. It was Beach Break. It started off. So it's a theme show. We got Cody and Sammy Guevara as the opening match in a ladder match for to become the undisputed TNT champion. So, what did you think about this insane match?
The match was insane. Like from start to finish, like just from the beginning, the handshake, the little moves, the introduction of the two guys, everything. It was set up. It was amazing. What a good match. Should have been a pay-per-view match. Could have been a WrestleMania match,
Yeah,
in my opinion. Like it was that standard, which is what makes me wonder why would you open up a Wednesday night show with that, in my
yeah, this could
opinion.
have been the main event for sure.
Like definitely the main event because you don't want to top that. How do you top that? Like
Yeah,
if you're the
no,
guy
that's the
after,
thing.
you're like that's what's retarded. I understand the concept. We're gonna seize you in with the best thing that we can seize you, bring you in with. But it was just like okay, like what are they gonna do next? Like have piranha tanks?
No,
Like
exactly. Where are they going to go from here? Like, there was a definite dip in the show. Later on, um, there's some matches back to back. There's Wardlow, and then Velvet and
Red
Layla
Velvet and
Hirsch.
Layla
These
Hirsch.
matches are hardly even worth talking about.
Yeah, and it sucks to them. Like it sucks because I was watching the Red Velvet and Layla Hirsch match, and I was like, it sucks because it's a well executed match. Like the girls are doing really
they
good.
actually did have a
There's,
good match, indeed.
they stay true to their storyline and everything, but you have to go after. Let's talk about the bumps in that match. One, a suplex off of a ladder that high was intense already. Could
Yeah.
have been like just with that, people would have been like, "Yo, did you see?" That could have been a meme like on repeat every week. Just
Oh
that
yeah.
move would have been like, "Yo, did you see him suplex Guevara off of that?" Then there was the cutter.
Yeah, that
Then
was
there
so
was
beautiful.
that
Like
that I
beautifully executed from one ladder to another. Perfectly done.
perfectly. And you said to yourself, had he missed that by an inch, it would
It
have
would
looked
have
really
looked like
bad.
crap. It would have, yeah.
Or he could have really hurt Cody's neck,
Oh yeah.
like intensely. And then you had Cody dropping him on the ladder that was upside down. That was intense. And even pushing the ladder, like that's a heavy ladder anyway. Like pushing the ladder off and it just fell on Guevara on the ground, like bang. I was just
Yeah.
like, just right there. I was just like, it's
At
just
one
intense
point,
thought.
Guevara, he's going for he was going for the ladder and Cody awkwardly pushes him off the ladder too. He looked like he landed like his ankle might have been sprained, but Guevara's
Just hitting
indestructible, man.
just hitting the top rope. When he went off the top rope, I said, "Oh my God, like he could have killed himself." Guys have died hitting that rope.
Oh
Like
yeah.
you know what I mean? So easily. Those are still cables. Like anybody can
Pero
die,
Aguayo a
you
couple
know?
years ago, yeah.
You
Very
know, and
sad. But yeah, man,
yeah.
it's also, so
And
another crazy bump. Like they were both, oh no, Cody was holding on to the apparatus which the titles were hooked on, and then Sammy was holding on to them and then onto him, and then the ladder was taken away.
then
They
they fell.
both
But
dropped down.
I almost felt like that something went wrong. I almost felt like Guevara wasn't supposed to fall the way he fell, and he fell. and rolled out of the ring, and then Cody just let go. And right there, I'm like, yo, he could have fucked his ankles up
Yeah,
intensely.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
right there, ankles gone. Like, and
They're
then
falling
and
from a
then they
pretty
kind
high
of
height there. It was like almost like
got to be 20 feet.
yeah, almost like the height you'd fall from like a scaffold match if you're hanging from the bottom, you know?
You know what I'm saying? Like that's high
Yeah.
for your ankles, your weight on your ankles. You know, just one move, you could snap it. I'm just like, it's a risk, and it didn't look good. So in my head, I was like, I think they were gonna go for something else, and Sammy must have just slipped off of Cody because he was holding on to him.
Yeah.
You know, and then
Yeah.
they kind of rolled out of the ring, and then they kind of crawled back to each other, and that's why I was like, oh, I think something went wrong in there. But that execution from the top of the ladder on to Cody laying on the ladder on the ground was the stupidest bump I've seen a wrestler take in a long fucking time.
I know.
Like it was good. It was crazy. Of course it's crazy because it's crazy. And he stands up on top of that ladder, Sammy Guevara. He has to be 20 something feet in the air. Just
On the
like no,
outside of the ring. And
you
then
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Cody
And
was on a prone ladder, and the ladder just like bounced him back. It didn't like break. WWE, when they do that, they've done that move many times in WWE. The ladder always breaks because the ladder is probably a trick ladder for that spot, you know?
yeah, made to give, you know, and these guys are out there on a ladder. And then I'm just thinking about the ECW days, you know, I'm just thinking about those days where a guy would do shit like that.
Yeah, that's it. Just
And then,
fucking nuts.
you know, and I was just like, wow, why are you doing that? Because the other three bumps, because Cody executed his move, he executed it off of the ladder too, which was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, yo, just with the other three bumps, you didn't need to do that bump. It was still going to be match of the month, one of the matches of the year, definitely, you know,
Yeah, no,
and
yeah. And he like, I thought he would be, I thought he was hurt after that. His back looked like he bent wrong, but
he
he's
looked
fine.
like he cracked his ribs.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
it.
saying?
This guy's like indestructible. So he ends
Yeah,
up winning. I was like, I thought going into this match, I wasn't that excited for it because I was like, oh yeah, Cody's gonna win and like it's gonna be all like awkward. But
you
no,
know,
Sammy wins. And yeah, I was pretty happy. They really this match made Sammy look amazing. And he
he did.
deserves to look amazing because he really went all out in this one.
Yo, he went all out and showed that what people have been talking about, like since his Lucha Underground days, when he was there, he was big. Impact gave him a few tries, and they wanted to sign him, and he decided to stay a free agent or whatnot. They knew that he was this good, and everybody knew that he was like, there's something about Sammy Guevara, man. Like he's the next Eddie Guerrero or something. Like he really, that's the vibes I get from him when I see him wrestle. I'm like, yo, this guy's crazy. He's got it all. He's got the looks, the charisma, you know, he's in a small package. You know what
And
I'm
he can
saying? Like
really,
Eddie.
really give like a top match when you need him to. Like proved it right here tonight.
Exactly. Yeah, he really did prove it. Yeah, 100. That match
So
is 100. Goes down as one of the best matches in easily the last 5 years that I can think of.
oh yeah, especially like for TV matches, like this was
Yeah.
great. Anyone who was tuning in to Dynamite for the first time would be like, this is amazing.
Yeah, they would have been like, this is nuts. If it's this every week, I'm watching this.
Definitely.
Which
Yeah.
which is what they were probably going for when they put that there. They were probably trying to catch that audience that was watching whatever show
The
was
last
right
show, I think it's
before.
Big Bang Theory that plays.
Yeah, you know, and they're just like, oh, this is wrestling, you know, and they're like, yo, we're gonna hit it with this, and we're gonna get them hooked, and then they're just gonna
Keep
stay.
watching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
So
that's
after
gonna
that, we get I thought it was a pretty awesome promo from Starks and Hobbs. They're outside beside like a beach, but it's beach break. But the thing is, it doesn't make sense. It's beach break, but we're in the middle of winter here. And it
yeah,
wasn't even in like a hot city, it was in Cleveland. So the
yeah,
whole theme of the beach break of the show made
made no
totally no
sense.
sense.
No sense at all. No sense. I don't know what to take of it, except the fact that it was a good promo. They were in the snow. Tony Schiavone looked like an idiot with his
Yeah.
earring. Uh, man, I don't know. Rick Starks is great. Hobbs getting better on the microphone than he used to be. He's already a great wrestler.
Yeah. So
I
have
mean,
you
yeah,
heard here's a little sideline. I heard that Hook is actually the highest selling merch on AEW.
doesn't surprise me.
This guy's
Doesn't surprise me.
popularity is skyrocketing and he hasn't even like done that much yet.
No, it's because he's Taz's son. And Taz has a cult
Oh yeah.
following of fans. A lot of people know he was good, knows that he should have been better recognized had not Vince McMahon to see, and I think injury also. I think his neck was like out of whack or whatnot.
I think
I
they
mean that
just threw a lot of money at him to be a commentator, and WCW was closed, so he's like, okay, that's like the only option I have at this point.
exactly until he went to TNA years later to do a
Yeah.
commentator also. You know what I'm
By
saying?
that time, he was probably too old.
Exactly. Yeah, because even the ECW days, he was already up in his years, wasn't he? Already
Exactly.
in his 20s and stuff. And that's one. Two, he looks like an anime character in an arcade fight game.
Indeed, he does. His hair is very original for
I
wrestling.
mean, you know what I'm saying? And even his look, like who he is as a dude, he looks like a jujitsu MMA lightweight badass. And that's
That's
why
one thing
people
I'll say too, as you're mentioning anime, like people who don't watch anime might not realize this, but like I would say, like in 2022, they're like 20% of like North American adults watch anime all the time.
exactly. And that's not counting the ones that watch the weird anime.
No, yeah,
Just the
exactly.
normal
That's like a
anime.
subcategory.
Exactly. Like everybody watches anime. My kids watch anime. Every single day I have to pay for anime. You
Yeah,
know what
there
I'm
you
saying?
go.
So
Exactly.
he fits that. He does. And also it was just the whole mystique of the thing, send Hook. Like send
Yeah.
Hook. Oh, you don't want me to send Hook. Like I'll send
Yeah,
Brian, I'll
like you
send
don't want
Ricky,
that.
I'll send House, but you don't want me to send this guy. And then he just stands in the back and doesn't talk, you know? And then you think of Homer when it was that episode of The
Yeah, the
Simpsons with all
Asian
the
guy.
he's thinking about the white guy. He's like, oh,
I
I
got
don't
to
know
see
about
what that
him.
guy's gonna do. And Marge is
That
like,
guy's
no, no, come
yeah,
back in.
yeah, because he's not talking and he's not saying anything yet. You know, so the whole mystique, and then he gets in the ring and he just basically whoops your ass with non-wrestling moves, really, just like jujitsu whooping your ass. He just basically whoops another wrestler who voluntarily is like, okay, you're gonna put me in jujitsu moves and slam me around the ring. Okay, yeah, sure, go. I'll do it, man. I'll do it. And then he just whoops the shit out of you, literally. You know,
That's
like
it.
he shoots you. It's almost like it's a shoot. It looks like a shoot, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he's wrestling. It really looks like he's fighting you. He's like putting you into like MMA moves for real. Like there's no, and you're like, oh shit. And I think that's why people love it so much. He's real. He's not
Yeah. He
fucking.
definitely has like a different presentation than like everybody else, which sets
How
him
far can
apart.
it go? You know, how
Yeah.
far can it go? Because he's gonna have to be put up against bigger adversary.
That's
You
it.
know
He's
what I
gonna have
mean?
to start taking some, and that's it. How is he gonna look against bigger guys? That's it. Time will tell, but for now, things are looking like extraordinarily well for Hook.
And good to him. Good for him, man. I
Yeah.
mean, I like Hook. So, you know, from his fucking Action Bronson song, everything.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah, that's great too. The young people definitely like Hook, and he's a young guy. Like WWE would
yeah,
never put a guy that young on TV. They'd keep
no,
him in
exactly.
NXT on like developmental for 5 years, and then you'd see him
And then
show up on
say,
NXT.
oh, he's not big enough. You know, you're going
Exactly.
to show up on TV as this dude's lawyer,
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
you
So
know?
next we got Wardlow, basically destroying two local talents. Not much to say here. It was like a standard old
Squash match.
school match, you
It was a
know,
squash match,
old
you
school
know?
handicap squash match, like the Missing Link used to do, or the Berserker, or any big old
Anybody
guy in
big.
the old days.
Yeah. And you know what? It's cool because it was good.
Sure.
It was for a squash match. It did what it was supposed to do. Wardlow did what people like to see him do. He power bombed the guy. The guy probably got $1,000 for 3 power bombs because you know that's gotta hurt.
Oh yeah.
Like that is,
And
dude.
Wardlow definitely like he got to show his character in this match too. Like it wasn't
That's what it's
just
about. I think it's basically showing people, because he's gonna have a turn. He's gonna have a turn. He's gonna be a good guy. So he's gonna be a face because the
Yeah,
people are getting behind him. So this is just like, we're gonna send him out there. He's gonna beat two dudes up, and people are gonna cheer for him, even though he's a bad guy, even though he's a heel, because he's so fucking cool. The way he
yeah.
beats people up, he's just a big fucking badass.
He's
And to
definitely
have
in like the Batista evolution when he was
exactly,
like that mold, which
yeah,
is
you
not a
know,
bad mold to be in, you know?
it's perfect. It's perfect
Yeah,
for a big guy. You want to be recognized as the Bobby Lashley, the Brock Lesnar, the dude that's like, yo, he's going to whoop your ass. Like
that's it.
he beats two guys. How are you gonna beat it? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so
So
good for
next we
that. I thought
got
it was
a much anticipated match. Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz taking on local Quebec wrestlers 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz end up getting the win. A great showing for our local Quebecers in this match. But what do you think about the dissension between the inner circle here? What's going to
should have
happen?
happened. Should have happened a long time ago.
Do you think Santana and Ortiz are going to turn heel, or Jericho's going to go heel again?
I don't see it as either of them turning
Me
heel.
neither. Me neither.
I just see it as they're gonna split them up, because they're gonna be two faces that are just gonna be like, okay, we're through with this. You know,
I
this is
thought we'd see Eddie
basically,
Kingston maybe get involved here. We didn't.
yeah. See, that's what I'm saying when I say there's things that they miss things sometimes. You know what I mean? Watch them bring him in next week, and he'll be like, yeah, but he should have showed up last week.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like, oh, he was at home because he got fucking messed up in one of his matches or something. You know. I think they're just gonna split them up because Santana and Ortiz are gonna. People have been wanting to see them in the tag scene for a long time.
Yeah.
Them against FTR, you know what I mean? Like, it's
They
just
definitely looked good in this match.
that's what they were showing. They were showing that two of them could beat three of the other guys.
Yeah,
Without,
basically Jericho kind of left it to them, but then he helped them win at the end. But yeah, they looked
yeah,
good. They looked very good.
they look like what they're supposed to look like.
That was another match that maybe wouldn't have been exactly that for a pay-per-view match, but some kind of version of that for a pay-per-view match. So it was a strong card on this show overall for Dynamite, I would say.
It really was. It really was. It was. It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just skeptical about the way they put it together, but it
Yeah,
was.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. There was some like momentum ups and downs for sure. So yeah, so here we get next we get Punk coming out. He doesn't end up wrestling on the show, but he does a promo, and then MJF comes out. I really liked MJF's part of this promo tonight.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. MJF controls the microphone when he's on it. So does Punk. Punk, it was like real freestyle. You know what I mean? Like, he's
He
just a
sounds like
master on the
someone,
microphone.
a guy in a bar who could just like tell someone off like that, you know?
Yeah,
He
exactly.
wouldn't be in a bar, I guess, but you know?
No, yeah, but yeah, exactly. He just has it. Just comes out with such ease and fluidity, and you can tell it's there. Like, he's making it as he goes. It's not written. It's not rehearsed. He comes out and it's go.
That's
Pow.
it.
He's just talking.
Exactly. He has like
And
the way of talking, like another guy like Paul Heyman has this, like only someone who comes from a big city can kind of talk like that. Someone who's been
yeah,
around like so much people and so much like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like you
yeah,
can tell that they have like street sense and that like no one's gonna fucking like get anything past these guys. You know what I mean?
exactly. They spit bullshit right away.
Exactly.
I can speak bullshit too. Let's speak bullshit, and then they just go pow. MGF too, man. Wow, that was good, man. The whole thing, everybody going in, beating up CM Punk,
Yeah,
him
exactly. So
saying
the
again,
Pinnacle ends up jumping him. And then we see
not
Wardlow power bombing Punk on a chair, which was like pretty devastating. I haven't remember seeing people do that in quite some time in wrestling.
it hurt. And then on top of it, he sits on CM Punk's chest, puts his legs up to show his full weight is on Punk. Like, man, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know
This
how
was
he
a
got Punk to
top
accept
segment,
that.
like really great. This feud's gonna be a great build. So apparently we're gonna get next week, which is gonna be again in Chicago, and they were always in Chicago. Dynamite is gonna be MJF against Punk.
And you know what, though? You could see the Wardlow turn again. It's like
Yeah,
they were
maybe,
beating
yeah,
up
maybe
Punk.
it could be there.
They were beating up Punk. He didn't want to participate. You could see on his face, he thought that this was just stupid shenanigans. He asked him to power bomb him. He looked at him like, I got to do this again for you. I'm doing your shit. I don't need to do this. I've already power bombed this guy 9 times. I had him beat. You know, like
Exactly.
you
Yeah,
could
they
tell
really
Wardlow was
Wardlow
gonna,
got to show his character like
yeah,
quite a
in
bit
many
in this
layers.
segment.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
So then we have Velvet against legit Layla Hirsch, which we already
Yeah,
talked about a bit before. It was good for what
it
it
was a good.
was.
Yeah,
But after that promo, and then we're getting towards the end of the show, like you were saying, this should have really felt like it would be more like in the beginning of the show.
yeah. Should have been the second match. Maybe not the first match because, like I said, if you're going to get those people that were watching on TBS that aren't usually watching AEW
A
casual
big
wrestling
match to start
fans,
it out, yeah.
you want a big match to start it off. But you know what I mean. You could have followed with this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I almost would have opened with Jericho, Santana, Ortiz versus 2.0 and Garcia because people recognize
That's a big
Jericho.
match, anyways. That would be
Yeah.
big for an opener, anyways. It would
And
be
then at the
for
end, I
sure.
would have ended with the other one, you know. But because then you have these two girls wrestling, and it's just like I didn't care.
I know.
Not
I
to
felt
be
the same way,
mean, but I
even
did.
though it was a good match. And
Yeah,
then at
I
the
was just,
end, we get Chris Statlander come out, and then they're just standing there, and JR, who I found was a bit like sounding cranky on commentary tonight, which I really like
yeah,
when he's like that.
yeah,
He said like this because they're just standing like apart from each other on the stage without attacking each other. And he's like, oh, it's the invisible wall, like stopping them from fighting each other again,
yeah,
which
exactly.
was a reference to apparently because he started in Mid-South Wrestling, which was owned by Bill Watts. And that was a rule Bill Watts had. If ever any wrestlers were out in front of the crowd and they would do that, they would get a fine. Like if you were out there, you're going to fight. Like you had to fight. If you're a
Yeah,
face, you have to fight the heel. You had to, which
you
I
had to
think
chase them.
it just makes a product awesome.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, it does. You should chase the wrestler into the back.
Or chasing the
Like,
back. There you go. And that even shows the heel, their more heelish persona of being a pussy and running away.
exactly. Make him leave the building. Impact did it last week with Moose. W. Morrissey runs after him. He runs out the
He just
building. The car.
runs away. What's more of
The
a
car.
pussy move than that?
You know what I'm saying? You just do that because the fucking invisible wall. That's what the first thing I said. I said, oh, you're gonna stop running now, and let her like you just ran all around the ring
And then it's
to
like,
get her,
wait, exactly. It's
and then it's
literally
like,
like
oh
an
no.
invisible wall.
Yeah, exactly. Stupidest, dumbest thing ever. Made this even match more like I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
care.
exactly. Yeah. So then next we get like another, okay, this was an okay segment for what it was, but it was kind of unnecessary. Britt Baker accepting her Pro Wrestling Illustrated awards in the middle of the ring. Like, okay, we get that she's a heel, but it's not even really furthering any storylines. It kind of felt like they were burning time here.
Yeah. 1, 2. Pro Wrestling Illustrated, if they want to keep themselves as a legit, biased wrestling magazine, why would you do that? Like, why would you like, she wants to show off the plaques, okay. But, like having the name with the cover, even though she's on it in the middle of the ring, I'm just like, man, is Dave Meltzer really in love with her that much? Like,
Like,
is he so obsessed with her?
Tony Khan's
That,
just paying everyone off in like the peripheral like wrestling community.
you
But
know what I'm
like, I don't
saying?
know, maybe like they're like going after that like niche wrestling magazine fan crowd that still exists, like somewhat.
You know, I used to love the 500 because I
Me
used
too.
to
Me
actually
too.
think. I used to actually think so. These motherfuckers put some thought into this. You know, okay,
Yeah.
let's think about all of his matches. Oh, he did great in this. You know what I mean? So let's reward him by putting him number 27. You know, and then you see this, and you see her with all these plaques, and then you can just be like,
How much did Tony Khan pay for this?
yeah, really, like, did she really deserve all of them? Like, most improved, okay, cool, yeah. Match of the year, I don't know about that.
I would say no.
I would say
Like that was
no.
probably for that hardcore match she did on Dynamite.
You know, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was for. It was for that. You know, I mean, it almost feels like she wanted to do this because she's a Pittsburgh fan, and they were in
And it's
Cleveland,
like,
and she
let's
was
burn the
like,
fucking Browns people.
let's just go fuck with the people in Cleveland. You
Yeah,
know,
they do a
wearing
lot
the
of that
Pittsburgh.
sports fan. But what I do like is like you really feel like it makes a difference what city each Dynamite's in. Raw, it feels like it doesn't fucking matter. Sometimes they don't even say if it's a small city, they're embarrassed to be in a small city, so they don't even say the name anymore.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Freaking,
true.
that's freaking ridiculous.
Ah, because they're a universe.
Yeah, that's
They're
it.
not
Exactly.
cities. They're in a universe.
Pretty soon it's just gonna be in front of like a green screen. That's basically what it was in the fucking Thunderdome.
Yeah, they almost should have kept that. It was like, yeah, because that's what
It
product
was
is
kind of
anyway.
cool. Like it was
Yeah.
like trippy.
It- Sometimes it was the same face. You were like, hey, I saw that guy last week making the exact same face at the exact same moment. Like, it's
Some
like these
people
just
actually
faces don't
reported that they're like, I keep seeing myself, even though I was like on it
agree.
like a month ago
Yeah.
only.
Yeah. Just stupid, plain stupid, man.
Yeah. So we'll go to
Unnecessary.
get to the main
Oh,
event here before we get to the rest of our
the
immense.
House of Black,
Oh, yeah. Okay. We can't skip that. So, House of Black
man,
promo.
dude. Alistair Black. Oh, Malachi Black. Amazing. WWE are stupid. Like, how do you not like this guy's young on top of it? How do
Yeah.
you cut this man? I don't understand what you're thinking, like cutting this
They
guy.
built him up so much. He was like super popular. He didn't even scratch the surface of what he could do in WWE. And they're like, well, just get rid of this guy. Like,
Yeah, this guy's annoying. Like, I don't know. I don't get that. I really don't get that. I like the whole concept of the suits.
yeah,
The
we
whole
seen
like
Brody King. He looked cool in his like what he was wearing. It looked like a very like churchish,
I think that
creepy
I find
gothic style.
they kind of look like because they call themselves the house, like the House of Black. So they kind of look like, you know, like the skulls or
Yeah,
you know what I mean, the
like
Masons,
a
uh,
secret society kind of thing.
a secret society. And in my head, I'm looking at this and I'm just like, why didn't they put Pac? Why are they making him feud with Pac? Pac would fit in like a glove
Yeah, yeah, I
with
agree.
these
And
two
at one
guys.
point during the promo, they were saying how like um they're gonna like influence him or something. So it might go that way, maybe.
Because this triangle the triangle of that does not make sense. It does not make sense that
There's
Pentagon
always
and
one of
Phoenix,
them that's injured, and like then they end up like teaming with other people, and like they don't back each other up, but like then they do.
it just doesn't make sense.
They all turned heel together. Alex Abrahantes obviously is not gonna like be with Pac. Like
You know what I'm saying?
Pac looks like he
Like
would fucking kill that guy.
like Umbrante is with Pentagon and Phoenix, perfect.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
their
yeah, yeah. It
English
is.
is Phoenix's English is pretty good. Pentagon's English is like terrible, terrible. So like it's logical. But from the beginning of when Dynamite and AEW started and they signed these three and they put them together, I said, this does not make sense. Who said this makes sense? Who was like, yeah, let's put Pac with Pentagon and Phoenix. Like they just mesh well together. No, the
Some of
characters
the
don't mesh.
stables that they create definitely like are weird combo, and that's one thing I was thinking like maybe they'll put Wardlow maybe with CM Punk, but like I don't know if that's gonna work. But like I kind of see
Either.
them forcing
I
someone on
yeah.
Punk, even though like
Yeah.
even if it won't work, kind of thing.
Yeah. It's just like the Christian with Jurassic Express, which
There
there
you
was the
go. That's like
challenge.
almost the one that makes the least sense.
That was painful. It was painful to watch.
Yeah.
That I was just like, this doesn't make sense. Christian is hyping up Jurassic Express. He hasn't wrestled in a month or two. Like last time he wrestled
His whole like character is supposed to be put in the work, and we never freaking see him do nothing.
he doesn't put in any work. He stands on the side of the ring. And like it was terrible. It
Yeah,
was
man.
terrible. It
So
was.
what did you think about the main event? Adam
It was
Cole
good.
versus Orange Cassidy, lights out match.
It was really good.
For like
It
that
was
kind of for the rules that they had, there was a lot of interference, but that's fine in this kind of match. Perfect. Save it for this kind of match, I say.
yeah, it was pretty good. Like it was well set up and everything. I'm not the biggest fan of Orange Cassidy, although I'm pretty amazed with some things that he's able to do. I find his character tiring sometimes. Maybe that's just me, the whole best friends thing. But hey, Danhausen's there. I
Yeah,
mean,
so Danhausen shows up. I don't know if he's going to be part of the best friends, but like he would fit in that somehow. I think they got to
he
kind of
really would.
split up the best friends though, or something
I
like.
think he fits. I think he fits more in the best friends than Rocky Romero, who
Yeah,
now is
like
part of the best friends.
Rapungi Vice like appeared as a team here. I think that they're gonna eventually break up the best friends or
Either that's
something.
what
Maybe not break them up, but like split them somehow.
yeah. I think Trent is going. Rapungi Vice is going to be Rapungi Vice, and
And
I
the
think
rest
the
of them will
best
be
friends.
like with
Yeah,
Danhausen.
it's going to be Danhausen, Taylor, and Orange Cassidy probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And don't forget Wheeler Yuta, who everyone like.
it's
He's
like
like the most
okay.
random. I don't know. I think he kind of
That
throws the whole thing off, to be honest with you. But
he was really random tonight too. I was just
yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly. That's
I was
how I
just like,
always
who's
feel
that?
about him when he shows up.
Who who's that guy again?
Yeah,
I was
like,
just
oh
like,
yeah,
who?
no, but
Oh
he is
yeah,
a good wrestler though. But I mean,
yeah, he is. He is. He is.
this
He
is
is.
like one thing that they do. They put people in like weird positions sometimes where you're like, it's kind of hard to take them
Yeah.
seriously in that position.
Or
All
you
right,
can
man.
tell it's
So
or you
yeah.
can tell it's live TV because they shot Vicky Guerrero out there with
Oh
Nyla
yeah.
Rose,
With
the most odd challenge that was useless I've ever seen. Talk about saving time. That must
yeah.
sorry man.
It's
Sorry.
okay. So
That must have been that must have been the time. The time they must have been like we need some
send
time.
Vicky
Roll
out there.
send Vicky screaming out there.
Yeah, we
Attention,
didn't really.
please.
It was unnecessary. That could have been saved for like a YouTube exclusive or something.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
really.
right, man. So we got a lot more news to get into besides Impact here tonight. I mean,
Yep.
besides AEW. So let's get into a bit of Impact news. So this week, one match I'll talk about that I really thought was cool. I really like it when Gallows and Doring team as a team. Like these guys are
Man,
monsters.
if it wasn't for the fact that the Good Brothers sell so much merch
Yeah,
and are
exactly.
actually good together, this version, Doring
And
and
Gallows
Gallows together, what a team. What a tag team.
almost could be like a Dr. Death and Terry Gordy kind of team.
Yeah, or a skyscrapers.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just two monsters, man. Like we don't see
Just two
that enough
monsters.
these days. As
No, they don't
well, I
do it.
mean, we do, but not done right.
No, no, not done by two guys that have talent, of course. Joe Doring and Gallows are very, very mobile for big guys. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So they don't make you fall asleep with boring ass, like slow moves, hard for them to get around the ring. They can move, they can go,
that's
you
it.
know.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of both of them. I'm really been impressed with Joe Doring ever since he came to start becoming like more known in North America, you know?
Yeah, well, it's because of his cancer. That's what slowed him down, man. He had cancer. This man battled like hardcore cancer. He was on the verge of dying. I don't remember if it was throat cancer or brain. I think it might have been a brain
Wow,
tumor.
man.
And man, that's what put him down because in Japan he was the talk of the town, like for a few years there. And they wanted to bring him to North America, and then he had cancer. He walked away from wrestling for a few years, maybe 2, 3 years. Really slowed him down.
Yeah.
Really did. And then he's been like, you got to give it to Scott D'Amore, man. He's true to people that were around him when he was in the Indies. He gave him a call, after he started to see him appear around on the Indies and stuff again. And he said, yo, come on, Joe, come down to Impact. We got something for you. And wow,
Yeah.
man, it's
What a
been
what a
great
story, man.
for real. For real. I
That's
love Joe Graham.
some great like roster building, definitely. So they beat
Yeah.
Rhino and Heath Slater, which is always like a team I don't mind seeing, honestly. In small
No,
doses. I don't need to see too much of them, but they're fun.
yeah, I kind of like Heath. He kind
Yeah,
of
same,
grows
same.
on you. He's gonna get his ass kicked for some random reason, but he's gonna go out and he's gonna take his ass kicking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
not
And
gonna
he's like
pussy
funny. He'll
away
be funny.
from his ass kissing. Oh, he's great. I love Heath, man. He makes the show good. Good for him, man.
Yeah. Another pretty cool match. Josh Alexander defeats Charlie Haas, who shows up in Impact. What do you think
Charlie
about
Haas.
Charlie Haas in
I mean,
Impact
he
Wrestling?
he could still go, but he just looks like your old gym teacher that wants to prove to you that he can still kick your ass, so you better
Yeah,
respect him. And he even dressed like a gym teacher.
yeah.
I mean,
But
you know what
like
I'm
that
saying?
that could be a cool character, maybe.
It was. Somebody. I'm surprised nobody said that to him. I'm surprised Josh Alexander didn't say that to him. You come last week. You come in here challenging me dressed like a
Like my
grade
old
school
gym
gym
teacher from
teacher.
like the 90s.
My wrestling gym teacher. You know, but Charlie Haas can go, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can.
yeah.
He can still go. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Charlie Haas in the wrestling world for some time. I think the last thing was his Ring of Honor run. But this
Yeah.
is
It
cool.
was.
Like I really like that's another example. Impact. They're not just going out and getting anyone. It's like these are guys that maybe they wouldn't have come to like any league, but the Impact guys, they went out and they said, look, we're gonna bring you in and you know,
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is. That's they just have a very good selection of wrestlers, bringing them in part time, not necessarily giving them long term contracts. Hey, why don't you come in? You're not doing anything, man. Join in. We got something for you on the show. You know what I mean? I really like that part of how they schedule their show and stuff. Impact was a really good show this week. The Ring of Honor guys were there
yeah.
again. I liked
Grisham
the whole.
defeated Steve Macklin to retain the ROH title.
That was a great match. That was probably the best match of the night.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wrestling wise, the Grisham
I'm
is great. He
really,
deserves to be in the spotlight. This guy, he can really
I,
go, and he's so small that people have like never given him a chance, but he just won't be denied. And like, I
he's
guess by
great.
virtue of having that Ring of Honor title, that puts him right where he needs to be. And
Yeah. I mean, his whole look is good now. His nickname, the Octopus, how he
yeah,
comes out for the ring, what he looks like. For a small guy, he's a very powerful weightlifter and he's strong.
indeed.
You could tell that this guy's tough. And like, I love Macklin too. Like, holy hell, Macklin is a star. His attitude, this guy's he could carry a company as a heel. And
Oh
now that
yeah,
he's
I
starting to
think
get responses from the fans too. The fans like him.
that's it.
They're
I
like, they
think
like it.
eventually Impact, they're gonna like move him up like sooner rather
Yeah,
than later.
because he's given amazing matches. Every match he's losing, but he's giving it to the
That's
to the
it.
face. He's hurting him, and he's not cheating. You know what I mean? He's just going out and kicking ass.
Yeah.
That's it. But doing things in his heel way, not wanting to respect the pure rules, smiling, smirking, being the heel that he is. Macklin is good. And
He's a
I
good
like
heel
what
for
they're
the
doing with
future.
Morris.
Definitely keep your eye on that.
Yeah. And I like what they're doing with Morrissey. He decided to stick with the company. His contract was up. he doesn't want to disclose what the contract was. Somebody asked him recently. He said it's nobody's business but me, my family, and the roster to know what my
Respect
contract is
that.
and how long I'm going to be here.
He won
So
a handicap
yeah.
match against Ziggy Dice and VSK.
Which is great. And you gotta love the learning tree.
Oh
Brian
yeah,
Myers and these croonies, and they're all great. Like they're all great talents, but they're just funny. Like I
you need
like it
that.
more, you need this, you need these guys, like they're a great part of the show. It's
Yeah,
basically
they always have that in Impact for the last couple of years, and you need that. Like Johnny Swinger fits in that category.
he's great. Swinger's amazing. Who doesn't like Swinger?
Oh, I
You know
love
what I'm
him.
saying?
I'm so
He's
impressed
got
by the fact that he came back after all these years.
Yeah, that he's still going. Like, okay,
Yeah,
he doesn't win anything. I just like his whole like he's lost in time.
that's
He's
it
still
exactly. He's
alive.
hilarious. He's like one of those old weird guys that you talk about, and they like still think they're in the '80s.
Yeah, and he calls everybody by old school names.
Yeah,
Calling,
exactly.
calling Johnny Bravo Dino. Hey Dino. Hey
Yeah, as if
Dino.
it's Dino
Remember?
Bravo.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh
So
man,
we didn't
swing.
see any Bailey wrestling, but had a backstage segment, and they're pushing along him and Austin, Ace Austin. So that's definitely going to be a feud to look forward to.
Yeah,
You know,
it is. It is.
yeah.
It is.
So
By
Bailey, he signed to be wrestling Blake Christian at a GCW show in LA, February 26th. As we'll move in a bit to Quebec wrestling news here. Lufisto on Saturday, she gave a beautiful speech at the Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that was amazing. It
Yeah,
was really heartfelt. It was amazing.
the
Good
whole
for her.
event was really nice. And
Yeah.
another major Quebec news: Sami Zayn resigns with WWE. A lot of people were expecting that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He said that he was going to stick around.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I mean, he's been getting some great. You can't say that like Owens and Zayn haven't been getting good spots on the show. They've been getting a lot better material than like 90% of the roster, you know?
Exactly. And why would you leave a place that's paying you and they're using you to
Like in
what
the
you want to
millions, you're
become?
making millions of dollars here. It's hard to
Exactly.
like, why would you walk away from that?
And they're in the spotlight all the time.
No,
Like,
that's
yes,
it.
Sami
If they
Zayn.
were starting to like not book them properly, I wouldn't blame them, but they're consistently well booked. So for the most part, I mean, for WWE standards here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I
So
can't argue with the Johnny Knoxville thing where
oh
he's
yeah.
with the cattle prod, but I mean, WWE will be
But
WWE
like,
and
hey,
do
you're still in there with Johnny Knoxville. It's gonna be Royal Rumble coming up Saturday. That's right,
yeah,
fans. It's Saturday this year. Don't forget. Which is
yeah,
cool. It frees
exactly.
up Sunday. Sunday, a lot of people are probably gonna be watching the NFL games. Maybe that's why
That's why they
they
did it. Oh, that's definitely why they did it.
yeah, NFL Divisional Finals. That's some big football.
Yeah, because they knew the NFL would kick their ass in the ratings and
Yeah.
in the sales, so there
Well,
was no
now
way
that
that.
like betting is essentially legal everywhere,
Yeah,
NFL is
exactly.
like insanely even more popular than it used to be, even.
It is. It is. It kills the ratings of Impact every
Oh
Thursday because
yeah.
they're the face with the NFL. So every Thursday recently, they've been getting their ass handed to them in the ratings because of that. Because the NFL is topping the night. No, people will watch football
That's it,
over
man.
anything
That's they
in
say
America.
NFL is like the most important thing in pop culture. It's the most influential thing in pop culture, you know.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
got the
yeah.
Super Bowl
Hands down.
coming up and everything, so a lot of
Yeah,
people have
exactly.
their eyes on football these days for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I'll go over a bit of the GCW pay-per-view. Um, there was some good and some bad. I've been really liking the promotion lately, but there was the first match was this ladder match, which had like among others PCO. This one, there was some like bad botches and psychology, but like other than that, there was some great bumps and work. But like one point, the guy jumps off a ladder and he's jumping onto a guy on a table, and his hand literally touches what they're trying to get, the brass ring. And then I was just thinking to myself, like the psychology needs like to be up. You
Yeah, they
can't
need a lot of work. That's what makes them still stand out is they're only an indie. They still
exactly. That's
have those
exactly what I
little
mean.
things that you're like, that's so amateur,
Yeah.
know?
Like you're ruining
Yeah.
the whole psychology of a match. The ladder match, yes, you can use it as a weapon, but primarily always keep in mind that you're going for what's on top. You're not just trying to like destroy yourself.
Exactly.
That's way too,
Exactly.
like you said, that's what indies do. That's like, and that's fine, but like even indies should stop doing that.
Yeah, they should. They should. Yeah, 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 yeah. They should make it. You have to make it make sense at one point. If it stops making sense, then it's gonna stop being interesting. At
Exactly.
one point,
It just
because then
looks
it's
like a
just gonna
bunch of
be a
idiots
repeated
hurting each
stuff.
other for no damn reason.
Exactly. Exactly. Which is exactly what it is sometimes.
Yeah.
I really like the tag match. Nick Cage and Matt Tremont defeated the Briscoes for the
Yeah,
tag
the main
title.
event.
So that was good. I mean,
Nick Gage is over on another level. Like
yeah,
he
it's
could
a
never
cult.
go anywhere else, but like the fans, it's like the Beatles coming out when this guy comes out, literally, like in GCW.
But I don't understand why.
Is me neither. I'm not that big of a fan of him myself, but like it's just
You know,
I don't know. GCW just has that hardcore mentality.
it's the same fans as CZW. It's the same fans as the Juggalos. It's what I mean. It's like we
That's
love
it.
this
Like,
guy because we know he's gonna hurt himself to entertain us,
yeah.
basically.
And like, hey, I really like the Briscoes being in GCW showing their more hardcore side. Like I had never seen them use light tubes until like in GCW or like some spots that they even did on the pay-per-view. Like
Yeah.
that's more hardcore than you've seen the Briscoes in Ring of Honor. But I think them losing the titles here, that means that we might see the Briscoes showing up in AEW pretty soon. That's
Yeah,
my
most
prediction.
probably. Me
Which
too.
will be great for the tag division, even though it's already overstuffed.
Overstacked.
They
Overstacked.
could
Which is
almost
what's
have
happening.
like an intercontinental or like, remember WCW way back in the day had like the US tag belts?
Yeah.
They could
Yeah.
almost do that here.
They could. They got so many tag teams. We can't even name them all. We wouldn't have enough time.
No, exactly. Exactly.
But they're freeing up people too. See, a lot of people's contracts are up. Brian Cage is out. Marco Stunt is out.
Yeah,
Peter
they're
Avalon is out. Joey Janela might be leaving. Is it not sure?
they were
Maybe
even talking about that on the pay-per-view.
like these
And
are
how
guys.
heel was Matt Cardona, by the way?
That's great, and he started to show it on Impact. He's going to
That's
go
it.
with this character now because he challenged Jordan Grace for the internet title, basically.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah, the
won.
streaming title. And
Yeah,
Chelsea Green
exactly.
ended up she had a match on Impact, but she lost. But even she is like really coming into her own. Like I'm really impressed by both of them.
Oh, she's good. She's very talented. You know what I mean? Like
She's
the,
always had it.
it's gonna be a couple heel turn.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're already doing
That's,
it in GCW and it's working like beautifully. So
yeah.
I could see Cardona like ruling Impact, man. Really.
One of the best pickups. Him, Morrissey are probably two, and Macklin are probably the three best pickups that they've done in recent years that were just guys under the radar that people were like, and it's like, I don't know, man, these guys have all the tools possible.
Morrissey, I
Size.
always say he deserved another chance. Like when this guy was Cass, there was no way that like if he had continued out like on the straight and narrow, which hey, look, I don't blame him. Everyone fucks up in life. But hey, there was no way this guy wasn't gonna end up being a world champion. No way.
Exactly.
For
Exactly.
Sure.
He has the look. He's Psycho Sid today, better on the microphone.
That's a great comparison. And I mean, that's high praise because Psycho Sid definitely was a legend,
You know what I'm saying? He comes out, he's an actual 6'10". Like he's an actual 7-footer. A
Yeah,
lot of
no,
guys' size
definitely.
is really boosted up. He's only boosted up by 2 inches. They like to say he's just 7 foot tall, but he's 6'10".
6'10".
But
There
man,
you go. It's still huge. You see
that's
someone
huge.
6'7", then it's huge, you know?
Yeah, Joe Doring and Gallows are 6'7" and 6'8", and he's 6'10". That just
That's
goes
it.
to show you the roster. Fulton is 6'7" on that roster.
Yeah.
Hikuleu is 6'7" on that roster in the Bullet Club, the youngest brother.
Yeah.
Like their
They
roster
definitely
is,
have that in mind, which is great.
you know, they have like giants on this roster. When you're holding the
Moose
world
is a
title,
big guy.
Moose is like 6'5".
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
they have more of a WWS. You know, if you count Jonah
They
in
got
that,
more
Jonah's like,
heavyweights than
oh yeah, than
AEW
AEW,
might.
for example. If Impact was to invade AEW, like in a reality scene, like if it was real and they brought the whole roster, man, they outweigh them by
Right.
thousands of
Yeah,
pounds.
yeah. Yeah.
Like, you
But
know,
Joe Doring is gonna beat the fuck out of Matt Jackson. We all know that they
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know, you
yeah.
can add Jake something into there,
True.
Hernandez. Like these guys are
They
beefs, you
really, I
know.
think they definitely have like gone out and done that on purpose, perhaps, which is not a bad
Yeah,
idea.
I think that's one of the things that they're keeping that is a little bit old school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, yeah, we've got the X division, but for the X division to stand out,
We
we
need
need to
big
be
guys for the
surrounded by big
contrast.
guys. Because if we have all small guys, then everybody's
And everyone's
qualified.
in the X division.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
know,
So
so
we
you know,
got a couple more minutes here. Let's quickly go over some WWE news. There wasn't that much great, interesting stuff, that much going into Royal Rumble. I'll say Raw. Okay. There was a spelling bee, which was one of the most ridiculous segments.
oh man. And Otis messed up. You know, like he gave, what is it, the wrong answer or the wrong spelling of the word?
Yeah, he thought it was one word, but it was like not, I don't know. So,
And then they agreed.
Orton
Right
ends
answer.
up winning. And then next week they're gonna do like a scooter race.
It's just stupid. It's basically redoing what they already did a few years ago with the Vikings
Yeah, exactly. And the Street Profits.
and the Street Profits, which was good when they did it. It didn't look as stupid. And then they're just recycling.
Yeah, and that
Now they're
wasn't
just
even that
like,
long ago, really.
you know, now they're just like out of ideas. What the fuck to do? Oh no, they're beating us. We can't do this. Oh, the ratings are going down. Unless it's Reigns, Lashley, or Lesnar and Rollins, nobody wants to watch it, right? If it's
Some
not
of
one
the
of those
women's
four
stuff
guys,
is okay, but yeah, like in general, definitely. It's like the main storylines, people are like, yeah, that is good. Everyone agrees that, like, you know, the bloodline and all that has been some good
yeah,
stuff.
that's
But
been
like,
good. That's been good. You
yeah,
know,
and
you can't.
like NXT has fallen off too. I'll say on Raw, the two best matches that I would say, like AJ against Austin Theory. These guys have been putting on some good matches.
Yeah, well, that's because AJ is AJ.
That's it,
When
exactly.
is
Like you can't go
AJ
wrong with
ever?
AJ.
You know, you can't go wrong with AJ Styles. You know,
And
and
Street Profits versus the Mysterios. Very athletic match. You know,
yeah,
I mean,
I just don't like Dominic Mysterio.
I heard that they might turn him heel, which would be very interesting. But for now, he's so bland, and it still looks like bring your kid to work day.
Yes, and he's awkward looking.
Yeah, he's not
Like I don't
really
mean it in a
he doesn't
mean
look
way.
built.
He doesn't look built. He just looks like a tall, like regular dude, you know? And
Yeah.
it's like, what's this guy gonna do? Pretend Spider-Man? I call him Pretend Spider-Man. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I
they
don't
could
know.
have
Maybe it's
maybe like used a mask or something. I don't know. I don't really like
if
how
he put a
they.
mask, if he put a mask, it would have been better.
Yeah, it would have. It definitely overall, I'll just say it probably would have been better.
You know, it would have given a little bit of a mystique. Right now, he has no character. He's just Dominic Mysterio,
That's it, exactly.
you know?
And I'll say the low point definitely of Raw was Maurice's birthday party. Someone getting thrown into a cake. Like, I don't need to ever watch that. Like, ever.
Ever again. Please.
I can't wait for this feud to hopefully be over at Royal Rumble this Saturday when they have their mixed tag match. I have no predictions for Royal Rumble. I have no idea who I think is going to win, which is actually kind of a good thing. Do you have any predictions?
Yeah. I don't even know who's going to be in it because they always have a surprise guy come out or a surprise girl.
Bray Wyatt's going to come back and win. That's my official. That's my official
who's
pick.
probably going to win? You know who's probably going to win? Austin Theory.
That's a good pick. That's a very good pick. That's a very
Austin
good pick.
Theory's going to
They're
win.
not really building it up in that way, but I could definitely see him winning it.
It's going to be Austin Theory, AJ Styles, and what the hell is his name? The big black guy.
Almost.
Almost.
He could
I had
win.
Osmosis
fuck.
in my
If he
head.
wins, I'll be so pissed.
No, it's going to be those three in the ring at the end. And then AJ's going to start saying, hey, me and you, we get Theory out, blah, 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 blah. And then he's going to turn on AJ, start to throw AJ out. Theory's going to pick both of them up at the same time and throw the tall guy out with it.
And what?
And he's going to be, oh, Theory wins the Royal Rumble. Austin Theory wins the Royal Rumble.
That's a
and
good
then
prediction. I like that one.
McMahon is going to come out all proud.
Yes.
He's going
to blow out both his knees again, like in Royal Rumble 2005.
Yeah. I'd have him get in the ring, grab the microphone, and start calling Austin Theory son. I'm so proud of you. You can be my son.
Start building, keep building with that story. Like they have to do something with this weird Austin Theory, Vince McMahon storyline.
But you know what? They won't do that because the writers are worse than me.
So I heard, I don't know about the women's, but I heard Asuka might be coming back for that, but maybe not to win it. So I won't say that much. I don't know for the women's. I'm not going to make okay, fine. I'll make a prediction. Queen Zelina.
Most probably because of the way she does her ratty littleness, crawling around on her hands and tiptoeing around and stepping on objects and probably have a guy come out. I'd have a secret admirer come out of the ring and step on the ground and lay there, have her stand on it, because she's so little. She wouldn't be heavy to stand on a guy. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Have some servants or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just something to keep her from falling all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Maybe, I don't know. No, I'm not going to make any more predictions than that. All right. Yeah. So we're getting towards the end of the show here. 2 little NXT notes. So we can't leave the NXT totally out of this. Tommaso Ciampa and Braun Breaker seem to be forming some kind of alliance. And the one thing, the main event, okay. Cameron Grimes defeats Tony D'Angelo, and I decided that from now on, okay, I can't watch anything with this fake ass mobster. In today's world where on YouTube, what's one of the most popular things that everyone watches? Vlad TV and shit like that. People don't want to watch fake mobsters. People will want to know what mob is this guy really in? What city is he really from? This is just like a disgrace, and it's racist against Italian people because officially there is no mafia. It's just racism against Italian people.
It is. It's degrading to Italian. It's actually a slap in the face to anybody who's actually a mobster.
Really, that too, man. What?
Sometimes these movies are pushing the line, and you're like, yo, somebody's gonna get killed and buried. You know what I mean? Because I remember in Blood In, Blood Out, what's his name got shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Sometimes when this shit gets too close to home, you can get fucked up, man.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then you got this guy on TV, laughing at it. You know what I'm saying? Totally just laughing at it.
Exactly. In the rap game, some guys will get killed these days for fucking talking shit on Instagram.
You know what I'm saying? To me, I don't know. That's what I don't like about the WWE. I have a hard time watching these shows, man. Sometimes they're so out of touch with reality. They're so it's sad to say, it's so Republican of them to do it. It's I'm
literally in today's society, you could almost get a guy who was in the mob who trained to be a wrestler, and that would be more acceptable.
You know,
But
it's
don't
so
invent like, oh, this guy's in the mob. Like, what mob are they freaking talking about? And
everything is
anyone
like that.
like who actually like no one is gonna relate to this character whatsoever because
No,
anyone in the mob is gonna be like, this guy's a fucking joke.
everything there's a joke. It's exaggerated typecasting. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Exaggerate. Even Cameron Grimes, who, let's face it, when he was in Impact and he was just like no character, just a
He
caveman.
was
He
killing
was
it though.
he was badass, man. And now this to the moon. Like, what are you? Who do you ever seen anybody in in real life say to the moon? What are you
No,
talking?
really, definitely not. And
You know
like,
what I'm saying?
as good of a wrestler as he is, like, he deserves way better than this.
Really, but of course, he's going with it and he's liking it. He's getting paid, and the stupid people that are there, that fan base to the moon. What? I don't know,
I
man.
know. I mean, I'd like to think most of our fans here definitely like agree with our opinions, but we definitely we got to cover the WWE anyways.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, very, very, very tight cast, very tight cast. Now that we talk about it, I bet you go back and watch it, and the whole show, that's what you'll realize. You'll just be like, wow.
Like an
It's
Asian
like
person doing what like you would
it's like
like
Yeah.
like what
It's
a
like, oh, I'm not
stereotype.
racist. I'm dressing as blackface, but it's just a joke. I've got a black friend.
Right,
And
exactly.
you
It's like
laugh.
no.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck are you doing on TV, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you putting these guys out there and doing this? And what is it with nothing against Indian people, but there's almost like more Indian wrestlers in this company than there is any other type of wrestler
I think
lately.
at one point they wanted to start some show like push to India,
They
and
really did.
it
They even
didn't
signed.
work for some reason, but they signed all these guys, so now they're like, let's use them.
Yeah, that's it. You know, they've got like so many of them, and but they've all got the same type of character.
That's it, exactly. They're not like really building on their characters,
And then,
and
you know what I mean? It's what I
that's
think
it.
is weird. It's like I know they're all from India, but you can't put every single one of them with the typecast Indian character. That don't work, man.
No,
Like, and they're
exactly.
not all together.
Even one
Like,
of them won't get over like that. And when they can't make like the Indian World Order or some character like group where they're all together, like I don't know. Maybe they could do that, but
yeah,
all
you know what
right,
I'm saying?
man. So big week once again, of course, coming up in wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget the Royal Rumble. It's like it's a classic. It's like going to your family's house on Thanksgiving. Maybe you don't feel
Yeah,
like it, but you go
and you
every
sit
year.
through it anyways.
Exactly. And we'll definitely be back next week with all kinds more
Yep,
news. And it's been a pleasure. Magnificent Drey Breeze, as always, my friend.
always.
Great to see you
Stay
once
safe,
again on here.
everybody.
Yep. We'll be back next week, ladies and gentlemen.